Good morning, church. Pastor Dave here with a Monday morning musing for the 3rd of April. In his letter to the church in Rome, the Apostle Paul wrote, "Therefore, brothers, by the mercies of God, I urge you to present your bodies as a living sacrifice, holy and pleasing to God. This is your spiritual worship." Now, Paul's readers would have understood the concept of the sacrifice quite well. Jews, as well as most pagans of the time, used the idea of animal sacrifice as a fundamental part of their religious observances. Animal sacrifice was simply the practice of killing an animal as an offering to your God. It served a number of purposes, but the primary function was appeasement. The idea was that the gods, who were displeased with me, would be temporarily satisfied with the death of the animal and would not take further immediate vengeance upon me. The animal was my stand-in, and its death allowed me to avoid my well-deserved punishment, at least for a while. But an animal is not a person, so the sacrifice was never quite enough, never fully sufficient. Sacrifices had to be periodically repeated, sort of like booster shots. For Paul's readers, the idea of a living sacrifice would have been a contradiction in terms. Sacrifice always involved death. That was the whole point, to avoid my own death by offering up an animal instead. So what is this living sacrifice? How does that work? Perhaps we can think of it this way. When we speak of giving our lives, we use two different words. We either say we are giving our lives for something, or we say we are giving our lives to something. Giving your life for something means dying. A soldier might give his life for his comrades by throwing himself on a grenade. A mother might give her life for her children by standing between them and danger. But giving your life to something is different. That is an act of dedication, of commitment. Giving your life to something does not involve dying. It involves living. Living a life of constant focus and effort on the behalf of your chosen cause. A teacher might give her life to educating children. A father might give his life to earning money to provide for his family. But a living sacrifice, giving your life to rather than giving your life for, is still a sacrifice. It still involves giving your life. It is still a matter of trading in your hours, your days, your years for something you value more. Exchanging your life for something else. The difference is the time span. Dying sacrificially is an event. It happens all at once. Living sacrificially is a process, and it takes a lifetime. As Christians, we are called to follow the example of Christ, to give our lives. Now, for some, that will involve death. It did for the martyrs of the early church. It does for those being martyred today. Throughout history, Christians have given their lives for the Lord. But for most of us, giving our lives is about consistent, intentional, Spirit-led dedication. Day by day, year after year, focusing on what Jesus called taking up our cross daily and following Him, giving our lives to the Lord. It's not an easy thing. That's why it's called sacrifice. But it is the path that we are called to walk. God bless you all on your walk.